जयपुर वाया कोटा।
कृपया ध्यान आपको अहमदाबाद
दिल्ली में आपका स्वागत.
Lucknow Junction.
ನಿಲ್ದಾಣದ ಕಡೆಗೆ ಹೊರಟಿರುವರೆ
Hyderabad 50 एक्सप्रेस পরবর্তী স্টেশন নেতাজি ভবন कृपया ध्यान दियो.
It's going to be a blockbuster Sunday because we have two blockbuster games. First up, the City of Joy take on the City of Dreams at the Wankhede Stadium. And later in the day, Gujarat take on Rajasthan. Welcome to Cricbuzz Live. My name is Saiyami Kher. I'm extremely excited because we have representation from both teams of the first match in the studio. All things KKR, team director, ex-team director of KKR, Joy Bhattacharya, and then there is ex-captain and coach of MI, Shaun Pollock. Welcome to the studios, guys.
Can I just move my chair away?
There goes.
The sledging has started. This is Mumbai. On their home ground, they sledge us immediately. This is what happens. This is why Shahrukh doesn't want to come to the stadium.
But it's nice of you to have worn blue. I mean, it's nice of you to have worn blue in support of Mumbai.
I tell you, these sledgers, they don't give up.
No, see, this is what we can guarantee you today. There's going to be lots of excitement. We are almost going to keep some boxing gloves there, but that's not needed because the sledging is going to be...
Our producer stopped it. I wanted a wrestling match. Boxing.
Everything.
Those are the kind of things we could have done. Actually, given Shaun, we can't do anything cricket because I'd lose horribly. So you would have tried an eating contest, a Mirchi eating contest or something. At least those I think I'd be better at than him.
So, I mean, it is 2 versus 1 because...
No, your blood is blue as well.
Yes.
We understand.
So I think we can gang up together against Mr. Joy Bhattacharya because it's 2 versus 1. But I have to talk about the last time we were here. There was Lisa, there was Joy and me. And it was that Rinku game where he got those 30 odd runs in the last ball. And there was against Gujarat, and it was Joy who was going to fall off the chair because we were in the mid-match. There was a double header, and he was going to fall off the chair. So I'm really hoping for something as exciting today.
I heard he was giggling. He was giggling like a little teenager. Yeah, when his team got over the line. Not today.
I'm watching you.
Not today.
But all MI fans out there, something to already worry about is Rohit has not come out. He's got this stomach bug. I'm not very happy because his bug is going and biting a lot of people. But Rohit is going to miss today's game and Surya is in. So Surya is going to be captaining. It's going to be a big blow for MI already.
Yeah, it's huge. I mean, the experience of Rohit. I mean, we talked last night about who's the player to watch, and I think he's starting to farm a bit of touch again. So I was actually really looking forward to see how he got on today. So that's a major blow for them. A bit of extra responsibility on Surya Kumar's shoulders as well. I mean, he would be ideally wanting to just try and focus on getting the runs, but it might be a good distraction. It might actually take his focus off his own game and get the best out of him. But in these big games, you want your best players playing. So from a spectator's perspective, from a team perspective, it's a huge blow that Rohit's not playing.
But Joy, just a little more on Surya because, like... Shaun saying that probably the distraction from just batting, maybe the excitement to just take on the responsibility of the team, that probably could change things around considering what has happened in the last 6 innings.
Yeah, but I'll tell you one thing. The best part of it is I think it was best described by Rohit. When Rohit, he got out 3 balls, diamond ducks, 3 in a row, first ball. And Rohit says he's faced 3 balls, So there's no question of him looking in or out of touch. He's got out first ball. What happens is when you see, in fact, the innings that probably would bother you most is that 15 runs in 16 balls because that's when he was looking to find gaps and he was not finding them. And I think that is the worrying stage when he's not getting in. He's absolutely right. Sometimes, have a larger responsibility. I also feel, honestly, most times Mumbai plays from a whole lot of pressure from their fans and their people that they are the team expected to win. With Rohit out, with what's been happening in the last couple of years, I think they are legitimately, if Rohit's out, they are legitimately the underdogs in this match. Okay, and I think that's not a bad place for them to be. In order to be able to really give it a good whack, not say, okay, we are underdogs, nobody's expecting us to win, let's go out there and just play good cricket. So I think that could also work in their favour.
But Mark Boucher said this the other day. He said that after Surya got hit on his eye, he still came in. It was swelling up, but he said that Surya told Mark Boucher that I want to go in and play, don't drop me down. I want to go in and play at 4. So Boucher was talking very highly of Surya, how he's this fighter and he's somebody who will always take on the challenge. You've spent a lot of time with Boucher. What do you think probably Mark Boucher is telling Surya at this point?
I think more importantly, we've spent time in teams, and you do get to understand characters and personalities, and you sometimes see people standing down. You don't make a big fuss of it because you understand maybe they aren't up for the battle, but there's plenty of examples where the going gets tough and someone will go, oh, my hamstring's not feeling right, or my back feels a little bit stiff. I'm going to sit this one out. And you learn things about the individuals, particularly when you're behind the scenes. So that was an opportunity. He hadn't scored runs. He dropped a couple of catches. He ends up dropping another one. It wasn't a bad opportunity to just say, oh, my eye's not great, I'll slide down the order. So the fact that in all those circumstances or with the surroundings that was going on, he said, no, let me go. I'm happy to do it and I want to do it. That just tells you a little bit about the character. And yeah, sometimes as coaches, that you keep that to yourself. But I think Boucher just felt that it was an opportunity to show a little bit of support for Surya, even if it's not from a performance perspective, but more from a character side.
Well, there's one captain who everyone's going to miss. We'll wait and watch and see what Surya does. But as any MI fan, if you're at the Wankhede Stadium, you want the hitman to go there and go all guns blazing. Unfortunately, not today. But the other captain who's really impressed is Nitish Rana, because he's come in, taken this role on his shoulders, and he's done beautifully well. He's just looked so comfortable in the role as captain of KKR.
Yeah, absolutely. And you look at the first match, 45. That was a terrific knock. That was you ended up with Rinku getting them over the line. But even the second one, if you look at it, I mean, the way he played, the fact that KKR went right down to the 20th over in a match where they were nothing all for 3 down, and then took the match to the 20th over where people still thought that they had a chance given what Rinku Singh had done last time. I think that's great credit to them. So he's definitely playing great cricket. I think he and Chandrakant Pandit are tight together because you can make out a lot of body language sitting outside when they show us the dugout. You can make out that these two are getting on well together. So the team is syncing. Things are working well for them. And when a captain and coach are in sync, and let me tell you, it does not happen as often as you think it does. It doesn't happen all the time. Then I think there's good places for the team. But the only thing is that at this point in time, again, I tell you the reverse situation in KKR, which is that when they were the underdogs, they were going out there with nothing to lose. And they were really, really doing well. Now, I think people are going to take them seriously. They are going to be in situations where they are expected to be in winning situations. And now I want to see how KKR makes that transition. And it's not always easy, which is why, that day I was talking about Rinku Singh's shots, and the most difficult hits were the 4 and 5. Because the first 3, you think you don't have a ghost of a chance. It's 29 last, you don't have a ghost. But 4 and 5, there's 2 shots. You're almost there. And that's a difficult one. And I think KKR is also almost a contending side now. They think that they're there. Now is the true test of character.
I think what I would add, though, from a captaincy perspective, I mean, it hasn't affected his performance. In fact, it's probably enhanced his performance individually with the bat. But as a captain, you don't really get to influence things from a batting perspective. It's only when your team's in the field and you now have to rally up the troops. And the fact that they've gone for 200 in the last 2 matches means that I don't think they've got their combinations just right. It's also, as a captain, when do I bring them back? Who bowls these kind of overs or the pressure overs? And I think he would like that to click just a little bit more so that he feels like some of the decisions he's making on the field are making sure that their team get over the line and play better and bowl better and restrict teams. So I think that's the part that he'll be wanting to just improve on a little bit. But as Joy says, the connection with the players, the connection with the team, his own performance seems good. He's just got to get those tactics a little bit more sharper.
But like you clearly said that he's batting beautifully. He's not letting the pressure get to his batting. Actually, Nitish Rana made a comment himself saying that he doesn't let the pressure get to him because he's been around in the leadership area for some time. So it's almost like, okay, I've been doing this for some time. It's just that I've been made a captain now. You've been in the team. You've been in the KKR dugout a lot. So he's somebody who's been given a lot of responsibility even in the past.
Yeah, I think they would have worked with him because they would have looked at him. And he would have expected when Shreyas slotted in, he would have been the natural person, his vice captain, sitting next to him, getting through to him. And if you see the 2 most senior players of KKR, the guys who've played the most, neither of them either wish for or are suited for captaincy roles, whether it's Sunil Narayan or Andre Russell. They come there, they do their business, they do it very well. but they don't enjoy the challenge of getting teams together and putting those things out. So Nitish Rana from 2019-20 has been really a part of that leadership group. And Shreyas, he would have slotted right behind Shreyas, and when Shreyas was out for this season, they've gone straight in with him. And I think it's a good decision, because what's your option? Your option is to get somebody from outside to suddenly become a captain who has no connect with the team. Here's this kid who knows the system for 4-5 years, plays domestic cricket, has captained Delhi in the past. He knows what captaincy is about. And yeah, there's a certain amount you want as a captain, which is the finesse of a captain, of say how a Dhoni chooses when to bowl whom. I think there are things out there which Shaun would have picked up on, saying that there are rough edges out here, and it's not that easy to do. But definitely, at least confidence-wise or in terms of what he wants for his team, he's all there.
You also mentioned about how he's not got probably the bowling combinations correct. There's an area of concern, I think, for both the teams, because both of them have struggled a little with their bowling performance, because especially the seamers have not really come to the party, both the teams.
Yeah, in fact, the paradox for me, and I just want to say it, is that Mumbai was expected to have fantastic batting, one of the best batting units in the league, and not great bowling. And KKR was thought to be just the opposite. KKR's batting doesn't look very strong, and their bowling looked really good, whatever it is, the kind of, firepower they have, Lockie Ferguson, Shardul Thakur, but most importantly, the spinners. And that's not worked out really well for them, but their batting has done really well. Now Mumbai has to prove that their batting can come to the party, and their bowling really, really needs to come up.
So someone on Ask Cricbuzz Live is also asking us something similar, is what I'm told, because it is an area of concern when it comes to both the bowling. Sarvesh Joshi asks, KKR and MI's pace attacks have looked the lesser lethal of the fast bowling units this season. Which among the two are facing a bigger threat? How can they resolve it?
Well, one thing you can resolve it by is getting Jofra Archer back from injury. That'll have an impact. I think if you look over the past, even current seasons, when you say 2 or 3 years back, Mumbai used to have Bolt, and they used to have Bumrah.
Yeah.
And then
Bumrah, Malinga bowling together.
Yeah, but the Australian too,
Jai Richardson, Riley Meredith.
Yeah, but I just think that, they look at their figures, they're not great from a fast bowling perspective. And you've asked, last year it was Mills and Sams. Oh, they really recognised internationally. This year you've gone for Behrendorff. It's not quite the same as a Bolt and Bumrah, is it? They know their games. They apply pressure up front. They pick up wickets. They do their jobs at the different roles in the different stage of the innings. So I'm not too sure what's going on behind the scenes as to what jobs they're giving them or what advice is being given. But I think from a confidence perspective, they're lacking in confidence, and they do need a few performances just to try and turn that around. So I don't think that the nature of those individuals means that they're going to bring their own confidence to the party. It's going to have to be generated from within, and I think that's the challenge for them. And even, I think, from a KKR, I'm thinking control. The one person, when you look and you talk about a Bolt, who's similar to Bolt with the amount of experience he has? Saudi. So
because
for me,
they have all these premier bowlers in KKR, but no one has really been able to perform.
Yeah, but you see, they're similar kind of bowlers. Russell, we take him out of the equation. Lockie Ferguson and Umesh Yadav, they're kind of guys who run in and they try and bowl quick. Do they have a lot of control? Do they have a sort of set game plan? Not really to work out certain individuals. I think Shardul Thakur's got to do more. I don't think he's done enough. He only bowled 1 over in the last match. But I think, looking at that list, I would get Saudi in. The Mumbai track offers assistance. They swing through the air because of the heat that's in and around. They get some bounce. They get some good carry. He can use that to his advantage. So I wouldn't be surprised if maybe they sit Lockie out of this one, and that's how he comes in.
Joy, if you have to answer this question, who has the bigger problem? Because KKR has the names. They haven't
Today, KKR always have the bigger problem.
No, I think, look, it's really Jofra. If Jofra is there, I think still that Mumbai side has something to go with. Because
but we need a fit Archer,
yeah,
right? We don't want...
an Archer at 90% at least is what they need. If you take that away, I think Kolkata has, if their players are fit, they have a better bowling attack. They have less problems than Mumbai does. Mumbai's big problem is, replacing it's very difficult to replace somebody like a Jasprit Bumrah for a season. But to replace both a Bumrah and a Jofra Archer is almost impossible. It's close to impossible. And that's the problem, that the two-pace bowling attack, the way they put their real money on, they have not got any value for it.
The suspense is killing us. Who's won the toss? What teams have they picked?
Yeah, it is a suspense. Mumbai has won the toss, but there's so many lovely discussions happening that I got carried away. Mumbai has won the toss. They're going to be bowling first. But let's have a look at KKR's lineup first, because we have Joyce, who's all excited to see who's playing first for KKR. Venkatesh Iyer comes
No
in again.
changes.
You're chopping and changing.
Yeah, it's Jagdishan for Venkatesh Iyer. That's the only change. They're saying no changes because I think they've looked at it that way, but this is their batting unit. So the moment they go the other side, Jagdishan may come in or they might bring in a spinner. It's up to them. But this is their batting unit because Venkatesh Iyer is always an impact player and he's always come in as an impact player. But that's what I'm saying, that it's a decent team. They've stuck with Lockie Ferguson, which is interesting. And they believe that they have the unit. Give Lockie one more match. Let's see what he can do. So, they haven't gone with someone.
But they've stuck with Gurbaz. They
Yeah,
haven't
he
gone
plays,
with-
but is he just dropping to 3? You think he'll come at 3, or is that just the way it's been listed, Cricbuzz?
No, I think Gurbaz will open. I think Gurbaz will open.
But surprising they didn't go with, Litton Das, because there's a lot of chatter over should Gurbaz get a game or not.
Yesterday we said that Litton Das, Jason Roy sitting
Yes.
out there, Litton Das sitting out there. And our belief was the upside that these players offer if you give them 4-5 games is much higher than the upside that Gurbaz will offer. But, obviously they've gone with this team, decided to retain faith in him. I still am not completely at home with that decision, but it is what they've decided to go with. And similarly, Saudi, they've not decided, they've gone with Lockie Ferguson again.
They didn't get our email.
They didn't. Unfortunately, Joy Bhattacharjya is not in the dugout, so he couldn't really influence the team today. Let's have a look at MI's 11, because lots of changes there with Rohit not coming in. And that big birthday month present for Mr. Sachin Tendulkar as Arjun gets his first game in and Jansen is in. But there's going to be a very excited crowd at the Wankhede Stadium.
I'm there, very exciting crowd. Yeah, from after 2014, it's the first time you're seeing that name out there. Or was it 2012? Was his last season was 2012?
Yeah, could have been, I think.
14, I think.
14 was his last IPL season, I think.
Yes. 13 he retired from.
Yeah, I mean, it's huge in the history of Mumbai, isn't it? I mean, to have a father-son combination, considering that the RPL's only been going for this many years.
Yeah, I know.
That's a massive moment I'm very proud moment. Sachin's birthday is just around the corner.
Yeah, there's a 50th birthday.
It's an early birthday
So
present
I
for
am going
him.
to be smiling all day because I just feel really happy even seeing a Tendulkar in the playing 11. Just the name makes me very happy. But Arjun and a little bit of his work ethics, I've heard from a lot of the guys in the team. Like Parthiv's spoken very highly of how hardworking he is, how he's somebody who will be first to practice, go out last. So finally gets a chance. We'll see what he does, but it's just, getting that opportunity in today.
No, I think it's fantastic and I think it's historic. I mean, whatever else you look at it, a Tendulkar name out there, something happens. I remember the first time I was there when Rohan Gavaskar made his debut for a one-day international in Australia. And the whole feeling that another Gavaskar is going to play international cricket was so big. So similarly, another Tendulkar is going to play the IPL. But also interestingly, if you look at that lineup, Tim David's not there. And I'm wondering...
I think they've changed things around, but yes, Tim David is in there. I couldn't look at anything else once the Tendulkar name came in. I couldn't focus on anything else.
I think that's what's happening to all of us. We've got very excited. I think even our graphics people, remember, we are sitting in a studio in Mumbai. They see the name Tendulkar, things happen to everybody out here. So
I saw they got Dwan Jansen has come in.
Yeah, Jansen's definitely come in. I think
for me is a little bit of a surprise because I mean, he hasn't really made his way in the South African game as yet. I mean, he's played the SA20 a couple of games. He played for MI in that time. But it's a big stage to walk onto.
Yeah, I'm just thinking.
So no Berendorf and Jansen in.
Yeah, I mean, you got two guys basically making their debut from a bowling perspective.
I mean, this is a team that used to, as they say, bowl with Lasith Malinga, Trent Bolt and, Bumrah taking the new ball. And it's a big step. So,
It's huge.
And the thing about it is small ground. So also Jansen, all the way they bowl, tall people, lot of bounce. In this pitch, if you start ramping, ball will really fly around. So if you don't have control in the Wankhede, it's not a great, you need real control or you need to get wickets. And this said, I mean, for me, somebody like a Shardul Thakur actually will bowl very well in this surface.
You're saying Wankhede is a very small stadium and they've got a, if I can say, inexperienced bowling lineup as compared to what MI usually has. And then they are up against, of course, the top order, which has changed under a bit. But the star player this season, Rinku Singh, And he really hits it big when he hits it. So just a little on him because he's such an exciting prospect. We've seen what he did the other day when we were together, but it wasn't that one-off game. Even in the next game, he came in and he got a 58 in the last game. So, you know, he's been unbeaten. So he's somebody who clearly KKR has backed for correct reasons.
Yeah, I think it's a huge performance. That second one in particular, I mean, we can't get away from the 30 in that last over. That's unbelievable, and you don't see that all the time. But when you put those kind of performances, and you do need to back it up with something else, and to have done it again in the next game, the firepower that he brings in combination with Dre Russ, who's yet to get going. And that's why when I look at that Mumbai bowling lineup, I go, gosh, if they don't get early wickets or put them under pressure, if you get to those last 5 overs, and you've got Dre Russ and Rinko Singh in the form he's in at the crease, you can see the smile. It's already coming on Joy's face.
No, seriously, I mean, they could go for a lot. I mean, that's the thing, the control, and it's a very inexperienced. I mean, you look at that lineup, by Piyush Chawla is by far the most experienced bowler, and you'd say that Piyush Chawla is perhaps a little past his prime, as it were, in this form of the game. He's been playing again for 15 years. He's been playing the IPLs. He's been there from season 1. So this is a big, big game, and it's a big, big gamble for Mumbai. But I can understand why they decided to bowl first, because they felt that with this relatively inexperienced bowling attack, they can't afford to have them contain. They didn't think they could contain. So the idea is that no matter what they've set, they have the kind of batters on this pitch, in Ishan Kishan or, you know, any of these Surya gets going, or even a Tim David gets going, they could hit those runs up. But
you actually spoke about Piyush Chawla. This season has been a great season. It's been like this big comeback for Piyush Chawla. But Rinku Sen actually made a statement the other day saying he loves playing spinners. He wants to get all his runs against spinners. So this matchup's going to be fun to watch, Rinku versus Piyush Chawla.
Yeah, it's always dangerous going out there in the media and saying, oh, no, bring that on, because it sometimes can backfire. But he's obviously comfortable with all the experience he's got and the amount of spin he's faced. But Chawla's experienced now, and it's almost like a second rebirth for him, a second coming. He's got the energy of being back involved again, and I'm sure he'll be thoroughly enjoying it. The day games for me were always the ones in Mumbai where I felt the spinners could play more of a part because there's no dew, it's dry, it's hot, and they tend to get involved. So it'll be interesting to see how he goes, but I think he'll enjoy bowling on that service again.
But Joy, you think, considering he is the oldest, wisest bowler out there in the MI team, lots on his shoulder today?
Lots on his shoulder, but look, he'll find it difficult if the fast bowlers don't do their job up front. And that's what, I mean, Duan Jansen, all these have to do their Riley Merritt, they all have to do their job up front. Because if up front, if KKR gets off to a screamer, they really don't have the depth, nor is this the ground to be contained very much after that. They have to get wickets up front. They have to get into that lineup. See, KKR that way has a suspect opening batting order, and you've had really huge opening batter conundrums. Just don't forget that KKR has come with a loss. No matter how well they batted, they came with a loss. So they've got to get in that top 3 and put some doubts in the KKR players' minds and try and get into their middle order as early as possible. And I think if they do that, then they'll find success.
But Shaun, just a little more coming from a bowler, considering the bowling, the MI bowling is not so experienced. There is no Rohit today. So Surya is also going to be very new to this role. How much do you think Piyush Chawla will be involved? Because he's been playing for the last 16 years in the IPL. So how much will be involved when it comes to decisions with the bowling today?
Yeah, huge. I mean, if you think of Rohit's captaincy experience, the amount of times he's been out there, the amount of times he's been able to father people making their debut and give them a calm mind and give them a good field setting and talk to them. Surya Kumar wouldn't have done much of that. So I think it's massively challenging for him to step up to the plate and have this inexperienced bowling lineup. So he'll be looking for any help he can find anywhere. And if Chawla is one of those guys who the team respects and they can listen to him or prepared to listen to him. But sometimes you can give as much advice as you want. When you're a deer in the headlights as a young kid, you're not thinking about what anyone else is saying. You're just like, what am I supposed to do here? So it's going to be interesting to see how they go. I'm also interested to see the replacements-wise. So you've got the 4 internationals.
Can we see the squad
for
again,
Mumbai.
please, for MI?
They are the
So
impacts.
who will they bring in? They obviously can't do Cameron Green or...
Yeah, so if you see that, I think this is the bowling 11.
Yes.
So if that's a bowling 11, they have 4. So they can't bring in
they've got to have it.
they can't bring in a batting substitute. So the international batting substitute. So they'll have to bring in an Indian batting person. So one more Indian batter will come into the lineup.
We'll also quickly have a look at the impact subs to just see who's made it to the 5 impact players. But again, depending on how it goes,
So Mumbai,
why would
so
they
Rohit
keep-
Sharma is there as an impact sub,
That's-
which is interesting.
yeah.
So he could bat in the second innings. So
so
they
maybe
say
the
he's a
stomach
stomach bug,
bug.
so he could be batting in the second innings.
Ah, there's a little curveball for you, huh?
That's interesting.
So it's like lulling you into a false sense of
Yeah.
security and says, oh, wait a minute, he might come out to bat.
I tell you what, another big thing is when you've got, having played for South Africa over those years, we had so many all-rounders. So you had your Callis, you had myself, you had the Boyers and whatever it may be. When you bring a new kid in, it's actually not too serious if you've got a lot of all-rounders, because if he has an off day, you know what, we've got cover. And that's where I think your David and your Green actually might have to bowl a little bit more
Green
in this
bowled
match.
those 3 overs, so
Yeah.
they are giving him that ball.
Yeah,
in the end.
but I think both of them might have to play. Even David might have to bowl a few overs, because you think to yourself, we're going to try these guys, but under the pressure that they're going to face, maybe they don't go so good, and then they'll have to play their part.
Yeah, but this actually makes sense to me. That Rohit Sharma, if he's got a stomach bug, he's not feeling well, he probably won't go out to. But if Kolkata scores 180, 190 or anything above 180, you can bet your heart that Rohit Sharma would just have a couple of pills and walk out there to bat and say. And Rohit Sharma in that kind of a mood is a very dangerous Rohit Sharma, because he knows that he doesn't want to stay there long. He's not going to wait for things to happen. He's going to make things happen. So, interestingly enough, it doesn't look that bad for Mumbai as long as Surya does a good job in the field.
Yeah, it's fascinating with this injury replacement or the impact player, because normally in a game situation you would say, well, I don't have the energy to field. I don't have the energy to warm up or anything along those lines, but you have to be picked. Now, this time, he can even be lying at the hotel at the moment.
Yes.
And with the fact that they're bowling first, listen,
Yeah,
go lie on
true.
your bed and then we'll come and pick you up. You just come and try and smash it for 10 or 20 deliveries.
But this is so much suspense for a fan, because like if I'm an MI fan and the stadium, you're wanting Rohit, so you're like, oh, he's not playing, and suddenly you're like, okay, he might play, might not play. It's crazy.
It's like that last card in their hand. Oh, wait a minute, there's an impact substitution. Here, there's Rohit. And
No,
suddenly you say,
I think even for KKR, because mentally they'll be like, oh, Rohit's not there. They'll be mentally a little more like you
yeah,
felt.
and Rohit
on
has done
the edge.
things to KKR that any KKR fan has been scarred by Rohit for a very long time.
Yes, 1,000 runs against KKR.
Not just 1,000 runs against KKR. So he has started scarring KKR not even when he was in Mumbai. When he was in the Deccan Chargers, he took 21 runs of Mashrame Murtaza's last over. And that's a match that no KKR fan forgets. And then he smashed them at the Eden Gardens. He smashed a century. Even the year KKR won the title, Rohit Sharma hit a century, which was like where the next highest score from Mumbai was 35. And he was like in different class altogether.
Never mind that he scored Mumbai. He got a hat-trick against us with his off-spin.
Oh,
in
yeah.
2008 or 9 or whatever it was. No, in 2009.
Yeah, that's right.
So Rohit
Anyway.
is playing Rohit games against KKR. Well, we are enjoying it. Joy sir is still here smiling because he still doesn't know if he's playing, not playing, but he'll probably be happy to not see him in the starting 11. We have to do something. Rohit's playing his games. We have to play the Joy Factor games as well, because it's that time of the show. It's all yours.
Okay, identify this father and son pair. Of course, the father made a century in his World Cup debut. The son took 5 wickets in his World Cup debut. Both have done extremely well. I'm not going to give you any more hints. There can't be too many of them who've both played World Cup cricket.
I think Shaun knows the answer there, because this has been discussed in the green room. He took a whole lot of time to get the answer. I can tell you all that, but he got the answer. So all those who have got the answer, quickly write in and tell us, because we are waiting to see the number of people who get the answer. Now, to our prediction game, which I have been failing miserably at, but well, let's give it
I want to
another
see how
try.
confident Joy is about his Kolkata team. There we go. Your
So
chance.
yesterday, I got a big one. I won the first
you did?
one. I managed to get it. Then Shaun came back and he won the power play. So
But I want to see how confident you are on Kolkata.
So basically,
what are they
it's
going to
one
post?
each, because there is, from yesterday's records, it's one each. I'm just a rookie who's trying my luck, but one each. So we see what happens with you all today.
I'm going to go. This is a pitch. This bowling attack, they have to score runs.
Ouch.
211.
Wow! Wow!
It's a small pitch. I would have said the same for Mumbai. I would have said
Gosh,
200.
that's a little bit higher than I thought you were going to go. But that's showing a bit of confidence, your team. I'm going to go 177.
Wow, that's a big
Big gap for
difference.
you to go there.
211, 177.
Lots of place for you to
I'm
slot.
going to go with 185, because I think it's playing safe in the middle. I can't go on continuing to talk because the Tendulkar has come onto field. So I really have to stop the show because Arjun Tendulkar is opening the bowling. So that's all we have for right now. We'll see you at the 10 over point. Hopefully Arjun gets maybe a hat trick today. We'll know soon. We'll see you at the 10 over point.
Jaipur via Kota.
कृपया ध्यान आपको अहमदाबाद
दिल्ली में आपका स्वागत
Lucknow Junction,
ನಿಲ್ದಾಣದ ಕಡೆಗೆ ಹೊರಟಿರುವರೈ ಚೆನ್ನೈ ತಿರುಚಿರಾಪಳ್ಳಿ
Hyderabad Superfast Express পরবর্তী স্টেশন নেতাজি ভবন कृपया ध्यान दें